Good morning, guys. I'm coming to you from my workshop in my garage. I've come home again for a little while because the canals aren't moving, not doing anything, so there's no cruising or anything. So I've come home to make something. Now, I've got all my woodworking equipment here in the garage. It's not a lot, but it's good enough for what I need. And what I'm going to make is I'm going to make a bed head or a headboard for the bed on the boat. Purely decorative. It's not a part of the bed frame. It's just purely decorative. Thought it would look nice. Now what I'm going to use, I'll just show you. It's a piece of, I don't know, could be oak, could be ash, I think. Possibly ash. It's hardwood, 2 feet long by approximately 6 inches wide, just under 6 inches. I'm going to cut it in half, or attempt to cut it in half, dress it all up, and make these the legs for the bed head. I'll show you a little diagram what I'm going to do in a minute. Okay, let's give the old circular saw a bash and see how we get on with that. Okay, stage 1 complete. Now let's get these babies dressed off. Okay, clearly this is going to take some time to get all of this old timber edgings off. So let's spin you forward a bit. Well, that's one down, one more to go. Well, there we are. That's those 2 pieces of timber roughed out. So it's dressed up quite nicely. 2 nice pieces of, I think it's ash. Looking at the grain there, it's quite a nice bit of grain on both of them. So there we are. That's going to be the legs of the bed head, and then in between here there's going to be a rail top, rail bottom, and some lats in between. It's going to be 4 foot wide in total. Well, you can see it's starting to come together now. Unfortunately, with using hardwood, unless your saw blade is really sharp, you do get these slight little scorch marks when the blade heats up, and they're a devil to get out. But I'll persevere and keep going, and come back to you when I get a bit more done. Well, there we are, there we have it. That's a lot better. Can't get all of the burn marks out, but then again, it adds to the character. Lovely colouring on the grain. Hope that comes out when it gets varnished. There we go, that should do there. And that will sit just nicely on top of the posts, like that. Excellent. For a cup of tea and a sandwich. There we go. Nice cheese salad sandwich with poppy seed bread. Lovely. I'm going to enjoy. Catch you in a minute. That was lovely. That'll keep me going till tea time. Time to crack on. Okay, continuing with the theme of reclaimed timber. Again, for the bars of the headboard, I'm using this, which is been outside for many years. As you can see, it's all green and algae covered, but I think it'll clean down. Well, I know it'll clean down because I've just done that one. It's supposed to be reclaimed timber, so I'm not completely disappointed with not getting all of the marks out. I'm not sure whether I'm going to varnish this or paint it. I know I'm going to varnish the hardwood legs, but this might just be painted, in which case those can be filled in and won't be seen anyway. But I'm going to continue. Let's get this one stripped down and get it prepared and see what it looks like. There we are. I think those timbers will come out really, really well. Sanded down. Most of the water staining has come out of it. There's one or two little marks, blemishes. I'll fill that knot in later. Okay. There's the detail now added on to the posts. Looking rather nice. Just a little bit of detail. And now, okay, I'm going to turn the attention now to the top and bottom rails. Again, putting the same little bit of detail on the edges with the router. Well, that's the router edge done with the router there. Good, let's sand that down. Okay, this will give you a little bit of an idea as to what it's going to finish off like. Obviously with the leg, top and bottom rails and the uprights. Just finished cutting these to size. It's now going to just give them a bit of a sand down, get rid of all the rough edges. These slats came from bed slats off an old IKEA bed. But reuse, repurpose, and save money. Yeah. So that's that. That's the basic idea. Sorted. Let's get cracking on. Bring you back when I've got something to show you. Okay, that's all the pieces now cut to size and shape. Now I've got to try and put it all together. I'm going to do this by drilling and inserting dowels into the lats and into the timbers. Once it's all secured in, clamped and glued, that'll never move. So let's get cracking on with that, and I'll show you a bit more later on. Okay, that's it all put together now. I've actually given it 2 coats of undercoat. I'm about to put the first coat of top coat. I'm using satinwood finish rather than gloss. Just I don't really want a full shine. But here we go. Let's get this on. Okay, there we have it. That's now 2 coats of top coat with a rub down in between. Looking rather smart. Now I'm going to start rubbing down and varnishing the legs. Okay, that's the first coat of varnish on the legs. Looking rather nice. Green is coming out quite nicely on them. So we'll get another couple of coats on those and that'll be lovely. Catch you soon. And a week or so later, here it is, fully installed and looking rather splendid. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't already done so. It's completely free. And of course, leave me some comments. I love reading your comments and your suggestions. Catch you later.